Hi everyone, Karen here, and today I'm going to be making a diorama card with the lighthouse set from Crafter's Companion and the cross-stitch rectangular frames. This is a nice die set because it gives you a nice thick frame and this little tiny, this way, crosshatch in it, which is really kind of nice. Alright, so let me go over a few pieces here. So I have my 5x7 card base, which is a 10x7 folded in half. My sky is going to be a 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. Let's bring this down here. I use the biggest die in the set because there are 3 frames in the set. The biggest one is 5x7. So I have cut that out and that's going to be my frame. I have 2 4 3/4 by 2 that are scored every 1/4 inch. We'll go over that in a second. And I have 3 1.5 by 7. This is going to be my water. Now I also have a bunch of the little pieces that are in this die set. Let me grab the dies here, put this all back in here. Now this die set is a little smaller than I thought it was going to be. So there are some little pieces here. So you have the main lighthouse, you have a boat. These pieces here are all part of your lighthouse. This one and this one, along with this long skinny one, they make like a banner. This is the little life preserver. There's some grass, there is 2 birds, and there's an anchor and some wood. Now the ones over here that have stenciling in them, I still have them over here because I'm going to do some stenciling. But I have everything cut out because I knew that was going to take a while. And I also wasn't sure how many pieces I was going to use. So I cut out a bunch. I'm probably not going to use everything I've cut out here, but we'll see where we end up. Alright, let's start up here with the boat. So I colored 3 of the boats already because I wasn't sure how I wanted to color them. Alright, I have some markers here. Now the way I ended up coloring this boat is, let me grab a piece of scrap here. Nope, you're not going to see that. Alright. This is E11. And I'm going to color this here to make it look like wood on top of the boat. And then I'm going to take green, other end, and I'm going to color the bottom of the boat so all my boats look different. Come across here. And I'm going to color the little flag at the top of the boat the same color as the hull. So now I have 4 little boats that are 4 different colors. And we'll see how many of those I use. So next I have the little tiny light preserver. Now there are a stencil. If you look here, let me take this off. There are 2 little stencils on there. But I found it easier if I just took a paint pen. Let's see, I have 1 left here. Let me shake this for a second. And let me take my pokey tool so I can hold this still. If I just held this and put 3 little dabs on it in a triangle pattern, I need one over here, and that's it. And I found that to be a lot faster and a lot easier. Let me just pick this up. And I will just put it over here to dry for a minute. So that's what I did with the rest of these. And that was just a lot easier, I think. Alright, so next we have the bird that is standing up. Now I did these birds all a little different. Now this one here, I only put a thin black line under the wing. This one, I put a thicker black line under the wing. And this one, I put the black line all the way around the wing. There's a personal preference. Just depends on what you want your bird to look like. So I have these 3 done here, and I have one more to do, and I'll show you how I did it. All right. So I have the die, so I'm going to put the die cut back in the die, and get back in there. So now I'm going to take a 0.5 art liner, and I'm going to go into that hole where the eye is, and I'm just going to touch that a couple times to make the eye. And now I'm going to take a thinner 0.05 art liner, and I'm going to go around the bottom of the wing, just like that. And now I'm going to take a light gray, this happens to be C2, let me take the other end, and I'm just going to color that in. Not going to worry about shading too much, just because that's pretty small. And there we go. Now for its beak and its feet, I just have a yellow. This is yellow Y7. I'm going to just color the beak, and I'm going to color the feet the same color. Alright, now if you wanted to put a little gray in his feathers on the back here, you can. Because not all seagulls look the same. You could just put a little color back there. And there you go. There's your little seagull. Alright, let's put these in here. I can put this away. Okay, the next one now are these teeny tiny little pieces of wood. These could be poles for a pier. You could group them together on a beach. You can do a lot of things with them. So I have 2 different colors here. Let me find the one I haven't done yet. Here it is. See, 2 different colors. Alright, so all you have to do is put the die cut back in the die. I'm going to take that 0.5 art liner again. I'm going to hold the bottom of the die down and just color that in. I found that's the easiest way to do that. Because I'm thinking I might group these along the shore in front of the lighthouse, and then maybe put a grouping of 3 with a life preserver on it. That's what I'm thinking. So I have a bunch of those. Alright, so now in the other box, a lot of these we don't have to do too much to. So I have some birds in flight, which I don't think I'm going to do anything to. I think I'm just going to leave those be. I have some grass, which I'm going to leave alone too, because that's pretty tiny. And I really don't want to mess with that. I have some anchors, and those I cut out of mirror cards so they're nice and shiny. And these here are pieces for the lighthouse. So I have 2 lighthouses here. And I'm leaning toward using this one. This one I haven't cut yet. So I'm going to do this one first, and then we'll see where we end up. Alright, so now we have to decide what we want to do, because I cut out black and red. So I was thinking, let me see, I think I want to do a red top. So I was thinking a red top. Let me get the markers out of the way. I'm thinking a red top, and then a red door. So the tiniest piece is a door. That's going to go here. So let me show you. So this tiny one here, that's the door. And these 3 here are the stripes. And this one that looks like the top of a baby bottle or a hat, that's the top of the lighthouse. But yeah, that tiny little one is the door. Alright, so we have the 3 stripes. So I think I'm going to do black stripes. So I have, let me get them in order here. And they go kind of circle up like this. Let me get them going in the right direction. And here we go. All right. So there's our 3 stripes. All right, so let me get some glue. And I think the best thing to do here, make sure I have the right side here. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back. And I'm going to use my tweezers. And I am going to put this in place. Just going to find where it fits and just kind of slide it in there. So that goes basically right under that set of windows. All right, now I'll take the smallest one, which will go on the top. That one goes above the top set of windows. All right, the door will go right here. All right, those are all on there. Now, the third one goes in between. It goes right under these two little pieces here. Let me grab hold of that. I'm going to turn this sideways, this way. Find where that goes. There you go. So now we'll put the top on. And that just matches up with the top of the lighthouse. There we go. There's our little lighthouse. I like it in two-tone. Alright, so the lighthouse is all set. So now we can start constructing our card. So the first thing I want to do, let me put these over here till I'm ready to use them, is I want to grab the blue. This is going to be my blue sky, and this is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. So I want to ink some of this because I don't want a solid blue sky. I'm going to start off with some of the spa blue, and then I may put a little bit of a darker color in there. Let's see what this is going to look like. That's a little gray. Let's find a different color. Alright, I have a clean brush, and I'm going to bring in Oasis. Let me try this back side here. Oh yeah, that's more of what I was looking for. Alright. So I'm just going to put some blue. I just don't want my sky to be all the same color, because that makes it too flat in the back. Once this dries, it will all blend in. And that just gives your sky a little more dimension. I think I want a little bit more around the edge here. I think that will be good once it dries. All right. Okay, so let's get our card base. Once again, that is 5 by 7, so this is just going to get glued right on the front here. This is just going to go right here. All right, we'll put this to the side to dry. Now let's talk about what we're going to do here with our waves. Alright, so here's my scoreboard. So what I want to do, now this is 1.5 by 7. So I want to come in about, let's say, 1/4 of an inch on either side, and I'm going to put a little score line in there. And that's just so when the card opens and closes, this is going to have a little give to it. All right, that's the part we're going to attach to the side. All right. Now, I do want to decide what order these are going to go in, because I'm going to cut a little off of each one. The one in the back is going to be the tallest, and then each one here will be a little bit shorter. So let me grab my scissors. So if I cut just that tiny little bit off of this one, I just wanted to make it not a straight edge. So this one here, I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut a little bit more. There you go. So now when I put them next to each other and they're in the card, it will look like that. So now I'm going to use this piece as a guide, and I want to make sure I cut a little bit more than this one off. I hold this so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to come down a little bit further, and I'm going to cut just a little bit more. And I just don't want this line to be straight. There we go. Like that. Alright, so let's put this over here. Oh. So now let's talk about this. I still need my scoreboard. Let's bring that back in. So this one I already have done. So I have this springy little piece here. And this is, once again, it is 4 3/4 by 2. Now I put this in my scoreboard, and I scored it every 1/4 inch. So 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, and 1 3/4. And now we're going to fold this. And we're just going to go back and forth, folding all the creases. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Go back one way, then go the other way. Okay. Now if you want to, you can take each fold and run your bone folder down it if you're having trouble folding it. Once it gets going, it will fold. There we go. Now we have our pieces here. Just like this. Now, when we attach these to the card, we want to attach them to where this flap on the end is going to be on the edge of the card, like this. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to do that is because I want to have 3 points to the inside. 1, 2, 3. Just want to make sure it's lined up on the end here and not sticking out. There we go. Now we'll put the other one on. Just give it a little crease. And make sure I have 1, 2, 3 on the inside. Make sure I'm putting them on the same. This one will go on this side. Do the same thing. Make sure we're all lined up here. So here we are. Alright, so now we're ready to put the water in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put a little bit of shading on here. So I'm going to take this ocean blue and I'm going to go across the top of my water just to give it a little texture, a little color, a little more depth than just the flat one colored piece of paper. Let's see, that's probably enough. It's hard to see in the camera. All right, now we'll take the next one. And we'll do the same thing. There we go. Now let's attach these to the card. Now when I cut these 7 inches long. But if you don't trim just a teeny tiny little bit off the edges here, the paper will bow when you put it in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take just a sliver of each side. And this will keep it from hitting the fold and bowing in the middle. I'm just going to take that much off the bottom one too. Just like that. Alright, so let's look at where I want to glue these in. So I'm going to glue one here, here, and here. That's where I want to glue them. Alright, so the first one, put some glue on here. I'm going to lay this down flush with the bottom of the card and push that down on top. I just want to make sure my card stays straight here. I want to make sure this water is not hanging off the bottom of my card. Alright, then I'll take the second one. I'll put some more glue on the front. I will lay this down and I will push that down on top of it. So now when my card opens, they will be like that. No bowing, no anything else. Okay, so now I can lay this here. I will take the skinny one. I should just say the smallest one. I will lay that across here. Again, I'll make sure everything is nice and flat in the bottom. And I will push that down. Here we go. Like that. And now we can do the other side. So we can flip that over. We'll take the one in the back, put glue on here, lay it down, and push down. Because you do want to make sure that your card is going to fold flat. Make sure we're not going to get any bowing in here. Alright, now we'll take the second one, put some glue on it, lay that down. Make sure I'm putting it in the right place. And press that down. Okay. Now for the one in front, put glue, lay it down, and press down. Now we'll make sure it's all nice and flat. No bowing, and I think we're good. Now those little folds you'll notice as the card opens will also allow the paper to fold back and stay straight. And also that keeps it from bowing. So you want to make sure all your creases are good. So now we have this. Okay, now I'm not going to put the frame on until I've placed all my little doodads. Now I will look to see how much room I have here. And so that gives me a fair amount of space. So now we can decide where I want to put everything. So I am thinking I want let's put this down flat. I'm going to put the lighthouse here in the back, so it looks like it's on an island in the back there. And then my boats, I'm thinking I will put here and here. Maybe one in the front. Over here someplace. And then I can decorate the island with these pieces here. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. It is now pouring. Alright, so let me put, let's see, so I have to decide if I want to put him on foam. I think I do want to put this on very skinny foam. So I have my 1/4 inch wide by 1/16 of an inch thick foam. And I'm going to put this across the back. And let's see, I'll put a piece here. And I'll put a little piece right here. That one's a little too big. Let me put a smaller piece on that one. Alright, let's bring this in. Now I'm going to turn this upside down just so I can see what I'm doing. You know, sometimes that's the best thing. I don't want to stick my head in the camera, because then all you'll see is the back of my hair. Alright, so let me slide this in. And I need to make sure it's below the water line, so it looks like an island. And I'm going to bring it right to the edge, so it will look like the island is continuing past my little scene here. And we'll put that on there. Let's see if I can put a, maybe that will be alright. So see, just putting that skinny little foam on there just gives it a little bit more. I do like 1/16 thickness foam. It's not very thick. It's very thin. It's half of what we would use for a shaker card. But I find it really useful for cards. It doesn't add too much thickness, but it gives you a little something. Yeah, I'm just going to start sticking them down. Turn this sideways. So we'll put one here. And I think I'll put the yellow one next to it. I think I'll put it in the one, I'm going to put the yellow one on the middle piece of water, just so it doesn't look like the boats are crashing into each other. Yeah, that looks better. Now we'll take a third boat, and I'm thinking over here, lay this back down, and I'm just going to place it in the middle one here, and there we go. So I have the fourth boat, but I'm not sure if I need a fourth boat or not. I'm thinking stick to the rule of 3 here. I can always put it on later. So I want to put some of these things to make it look like there's a dock by the lighthouse. So I'm going to take my tweezers, and I'm thinking, where do I want to put this? Let's see. I'm thinking I want to tuck it right in here. Right here to make it look like it's the pier. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom here. And I'm going to slide that in. right on the end and press down and let go. Now I'll put another one in. Let's see. I think I'll put another one about here. And I'll take a third one. Little dab of glue. And I think I'm going to put it over here. Let's see. I think that's good. Let's see. I at least want to use one of these. Now these are small enough you could probably use these like a little embellishment in the front instead of using a gem. So I'm going to put this one on. You know what? That one's got a little smudgy on it. Let me grab a different one. Because I made a bunch of them here. And we'll put that one on here. Yeah, tweezers will be your friend with this die set. Because it's a little small. Because I think these are a little big to put on the boat. They're not really proportionate. Let's see, so maybe we can put another one on the other side here. So now let's put on the front and we'll see if this card needs anything else. So I have the 5x7 frame. This is the biggest one in that cross-stitch die set. Now I'm going to put glue on this side here. And I'm going to line this up. Now I need to press the card closed to make sure it lines up with the card base, because my little accordion piece here is slightly shorter than the card. And I did that on purpose, because sometimes if you bring it up all the way to the top, it kind of ends up being a distraction from the card. So I do like to make mine slightly shorter than my cards. There again, that's personal preference. I just want to make sure the bottom is all lined up. It's not going to be overhanging my card. Let me straighten this out a little bit, because I want the frame to be right on that fold. Let's see. See, it's right on that fold. There we go. Now we'll put on the other side. You have glue. Alright, so now when our card opens all the way, that's what we have. And now what else do we have? We have a greeting which says, "Anchors away, it's your day," with a shadow. Let me make sure I have this going in the right direction. Let me bring this in, my scrap again. And I'm thinking I want this to be the dark blue. So I'm going to bring in the ocean blue. And I'm just going to color this. because I made this shadow on my Cameo machine. To do with a lot of my sentiments and inside messaging. That way I can get it, you know, the shadow and everything all cut out in a shape. Alright, that will be fine. You know, a lot of people will ask which is better, you know, a die cutting machine or an electric machine like a Cameo. And I will tell you what, they both have their place. They do different things well. And you know, I use both on most of my cards. I grab my little scissors. You know, you get more texture in things with a die. But when you want to do, you know, just a shape like this, you know, the electric machine is great because you can type things out and then cut them out and make everything personalized. So, you know, they all have their place. Now, that's why I have that shirt, the Equal Opportunity Crafter. I have a Gemini machine and my Cameo machine on there. I thought it was funny. So we're going to have a seagull, at least a couple of these. We got them all colored. Let's see, and they can be little embellishments here on the outside. Oh, you know what? I did not use the little grass. I forgot about the grass. I was wondering why this looked so plain. Alright, so let's put a little bit of grass in the background. Let's see here. I'll put some seagrass right here. And let me flip this around. It's a little trickier to get it in once you've closed up your card. I think I want to slide some, let's see. Maybe I'll just put some next to the other grass. So it looks like a bunch of grass there. And I'll put some on the other side. I will put it over here. There we go. Let's see. Where else? You know what? I think I'm going to put a third thing of grass over here. Right there. There we go. That's why it looks so plain in the back. Let's see. Then I have my birds for the sky. Because there was no clouds in this set. So I'm just going to put some birds up here in the sky instead of clouds. Yeah. Yep, those will be good there. You know what? I think I might even, I might even put one over there because I have another one. I have 4. And the one for the middle. we go. So we have our birds, our grass. That's starting to look full now. So now I'm thinking anchors away on the bottom with a bird here. We can put another seagull over here. Now I have the anchors. But these are kind of big to put on the ships. These are more like embellishments. So let's see, we'll put one over here. Let's see, what else do we have left? I have another seagull. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I should put one more thing on the front. Oh, let's see. And we'll put some grass in front of that bird. Alright, so we'll put this bird on the top. Well, maybe those two can go together down there in the corner. I think that can go together. The anchor and the life preserver can go together in the corner. I like that better. Alright. Let's see, which one do I like better? I think that one came out better. I'll use that one. Still wondering if I should put two birds. You know what? I think I'm going to put two birds over here. Yeah, I knew this card was going to be a diorama. I knew I was using the lighthouse. But besides that, I really didn't have a lot planned for what I was going to eventually do. So we'll put that bird there. Maybe another tuft of grass. Let me put some foam behind this. We'll get this finished. Once again, this is just the 16th inch foam. And I'm just going to put that here in the middle. And I'm going to glue the anchor on here. And this was just cut out of the mirror card. And I'm going to grab the life preserver. And we'll put that like that. I think the outside is finished. I don't think we need the fourth boat. You know what? Maybe we do. I will put the boat in since I colored him. There's nothing here in the front. There we go. Alright, so let's talk about the inside of the card. So I used the middle die here to make the inside. Now the inside measurement of this is, it is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, but the outside, because this frame is a little over 1/2 inch, so that gives you a lot of leeway. So as long as the paper is bigger than the opening, I can go ahead and get this lined up and glue this in any way I want. Because instead of being a mat, I'm going to use this as a frame. A little different than what I normally do. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue all around here. I really like this die set. It's nice and thick. So it has a lot of uses. So I'm going to go ahead and just center this. Lay that down. Make sure that's straight. And I will glue this to the inside. Go. And we are finished. So to put this in the envelope, this all folds flat to go in the envelope. Then when you take it out of the envelope, it all bounces back up again. And we have our nice little scene there. Anchors away. It's your day. Happy birthday. May your year ahead be smooth sailing with nothing but calm seas and tailwinds. And then it will stand up like this. So I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing to my channel because every week I will have more things. Until next time, stay crafty.